Could you state your name and your year for me?
Angela Mendez, and I am a sophomore.
Okay. So just to give you some background, for my Holocaust class, we went around traveling to different sites in Europe, and we just learned about all the atrocities that kind of happened over there. And so I just kind of wanted to see what your reaction is, and to see how much you remember about the event. So do you remember when the Holocaust took place?
I mean, I remember learning when it took place. Sorry.
So you couldn't give me a year?
1940s? Yeah, I think it's in there, but I don't know like an exact year.
Okay, yeah, it took place during 1933 to 1945, which is actually less than 100 years ago. So it happened pretty recent. And what names do you mostly associate with the Holocaust?
Like Hitler and Frank. I recently learned about the Holocaust, and I learned a name that I can't pronounce, but he was like one of the general officers of Hitler. So just mainly a lot of German names.
Yeah. So in addition to Hitler, there was also Himmler, Eichmann, and Heydrich that were also like really significant, important figures that he entrusted to help Hitler's plans. So, and how many Jews do you think were killed during the Holocaust?
Was it like 2 million out of like 87 million?
It was actually 6 million people. Yeah. And how many people do you think in total were killed during the Holocaust?
Like 10 million.
Yeah. It was 11 million. And so do you know who the other people besides the Jews were?
Were there gypsies and disabled people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there another category?
Yeah.
I forgot the third one.
There's a lot of them.
There's gypsies, disabled people, other races too, but I don't remember exactly. I just know those two for sure.
Yeah, so it was not only the Jews, but also like the handicapped people, as well as homosexuals, prisoners of war, any powerful religious figures that could really kind of thwart the plans and have too much influence over the populations, Jehovah's Witnesses, and citizens of neighboring countries that Nazis tried to invade. So the Poles, the Gypsies, the Czech Republic people, the Greeks, the Ukrainians, and the Russians. And so, could you name any of the concentration camps?
There was Auschwitz. There was one that I learned this and now I should feel bad. There was one that people went to like before Auschwitz, right? But I don't remember what it was called. So.
Yeah. So there were actually 24 concentration camps in total, and Auschwitz was like the main killing one. Mm-hmm. Do you remember any stories that it didn't happen at Auschwitz by chance? Or do you kind of think your classes only taught you about?
I know my classes, well, like in the past, in like elementary school and stuff, or middle school, we learned mostly about Auschwitz. But I learned a little bit about just like camps that they didn't kill at, and they made these women labor camps. So I know some of those for that, but most of the killing was done in Auschwitz from what I remember learning.
And where do you think these concentration camps were? Like what countries?
They were, I feel like they were all over Europe, right?
Yeah. Great. It was like in Poland, Germany, Czech Republic, Hungary, Austria, and some in France, the Netherlands, and Ukraine. So, yeah. And if you could just tell me like when you learned about the Holocaust?
I think my first like real sit down learn about the Holocaust was 7th grade, and then again in 9th grade, again in 11th grade, and then actually a little bit of my psych class, 4th block. I learned a lot about parts of it. So.
Okay. And so for my final question, if you could pick 5 words that describe the Holocaust, what would they be?
Atrocious, sad, mind-altering, crazy, and just unbelievable.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.